on this episode of American Travelers. We're at Wingfield Estate on the beautiful island of St. Kitts.
My name's Maurice Widdowson. I acquired Wingfield Estate, which is where we're standing and looking at the moment, which is a significant part of Caribbean history and industrial heritage. The significance of it is that it was the first land grant given by the King of England in 1625. That makes it the first land grant, 1,000 acres, given to a gentleman by the name of Sam Jefferson, who also is significant in history in so much he was a great-great-great-grandfather of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. The site initially started producing indigo dye and tobacco, but there was a devastating hurricane in the middle of the 17th century which wiped all that out, and they switched then to sugar, which is a much more hardy crop, and of course became the most profitable crop the world had known up to that time. This was a working sugar estate until the 1920s. You see, that's where they used to crush the sugar. They throw the crushed cane down the back there, that went down that shaft, walked along the tunnel underneath here where it was the combustible material for the boiling house, which is where the sugar cane juice was boiled up to create sugar and molasses. So this, what you're looking at, those three pieces, round things there, with these three round ones here, with these on top. You'd fire it, and then the liquid would turn to steam.
Right.
Alcohol's boiling point is less than water, so the first stuff out would be alcohol. That would then be cooled down in these worms, because they would be in cold water, turn it back into liquid, and then fed out the side into the barrels. Now, front right-hand corner, there's a pipe, a lead pipe.
Okay.
That's what took the liquor out to the barrels. And that's what poisoned everybody that used to drink rum in the 17th century. And that's why the first rums were called Kill Devil.
Here at Wingfield Estate, we're learning a lot about the history of St. Kitts and the people that came from England. It's just a pretty amazing story. I especially like the part about the rum story, where the masters were drinking from the lead pipes and they all got poisoned and died. And then the slaves, they were basically drinking the other stuff and they were all great and happy. Rum. This is good. This is my kind of place, a rum distillery. Let's go get a drink.
Now, from the viewing gallery, you saw the shaft that you dropped the crushed cane down. Once it was dried, it was brought down here and stored in these three areas, and then pushed into here. These are where the ovens were, and that's the bottom of the coppers that you saw on the top, you see. So this would be hot as hell in here, going 24 hours a day in the sugar season.
Sure.
And then so that's where you put the crushed cane, set fire to it, and that's where all the heat was to heat up the liquid and finally eventually make it into sugar.
On our tour, Morris shows us a future plan in this garden-like spot.
So what's this area?
This area I'm going to develop into a place called Wingfield Reflections, where the diaspora can come back and reflect on their forefathers, and I'm going to have the names of the slaves that worked on this estate in 1833, just before emancipation, carved into rocks in this naturally beautiful and tranquil area. And it's ironic that you're only 160 yards away from the boiling house, which was like working in a foundry 24 hours a day. I mean, the distance between heaven and hell is 160 yards, and I just find it ironic.
Thanks for watching American Travelers.